Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Shan Myung. I'm an independent beauty guide in training with Limelight by Alcone. Hello, hello. Good morning, good Monday morning. How's everyone doing? Without the music going, I'm dancing. Isn't that crazy? How's everyone doing? Happy Monday morning, or not so happy Monday morning, depending on how your weekends were. Okay, so I am just a smidgen not on time. I want to tell you guys that it is really difficult. I don't want to make excuses, but it's really difficult for me to do lives scheduled because of my kids. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through this without any chaos, but as you guys all know, for those who watch my lives normally, it gets chaotic in the morning, especially because of my kids. They're like prowlers when I do my lives. They're like, Row! So we'll see how long this lasts without getting all chaotic and everything. So how's everyone's weekend? Hello, good morning. Hi, how are you? How is your Monday going so far? My Monday so far is it's good. Let's get up, let's get moving, let's get that blood circulating. Just kidding. All right, you guys. So I'm going to start with the first base makeup primer. This is an ultra fine oil-free mist, and it's got vitamins for your face. It's like they're screaming, "Take me, I'm yours. I want the vitamins. I need the vitamins." That's what your face is saying to you when they see this. All right, so we're going to do about 4 to 5 sprays. Super ultra fine mist. So I usually tend to do at least 1 or 2 more. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. So, you know what? It's gonna drive me crazy because I don't know exactly what they're doing. Okay, so I've got one who's sleeping and one who's playing. You know what? That's actually okay. Alrighty then. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go in with Jenna Beige, my best buddy. This is our botanical foundation. This is some amazing stuff we have here. Okay, so imagine that most other foundations that you're gonna buy are going to be roughly between 18 to 23% pigmented. Guess what, you guys? It's not a lot. That's why when you put it on, it really doesn't do you justice. So, what does that mean for Limelight? Well, Limelight's Botanical Foundation is 50% pigmented. What does that mean? A little bit goes a very long way. And what does that mean? That means that you're getting amazing coverage. It is a professional, we are a professional cosmetics and natural skincare line. Okay? That's important because that is the indicator of why why Limelight is worn, why Alcone is worn by professional makeup artists, why they choose to use these products on their people, on actors and actresses and singers, on the elite, because it is a professional product line. Okay? And honestly, once you try it, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you use it with a primer and the finishing spray, it's just an amazing product. It's flawless coverage. It's great. Okay, so I was so excited to come on last night, even though I couldn't. I was so, like, if you guys saw a picture of me that I posted, I was so exhausted from my paper, and then after I did my paper, I finished my discussion post, and I was so, it takes so much out of me. And you know what? It's funny because I didn't start it yesterday. That, I can't even imagine what it would have been like if I would have actually started yesterday. I started it a few days ago. I started looking at it even before that, and then I started working on it, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, this is cool. I'm pacing myself, and it was still crazy. So just imagine that. It was just crazy all around. It really was. Oh. Trying out the powder. I have a powder brush, but I use it as my blush brush. So I'm just kind of trying to see how it can all work here. My son is getting frustrated. Alright, so I wanted to talk about something very personal to me, and I thought that it was probably the best time of year to talk about it. I'm putting the powder right now on my skin. Regardless, it's flawless. Okay, so I know I've talked about this before. This is my first time, well, in the past year, I have gravitated towards trying different products from direct sales companies. And I didn't do that before this year. I wasn't doing that. And this is actually going to be kind of long, so I may stop and continue later, but I have had a standard job for before this for the last like 10 years. And you know, I got my bachelor's degree in like 2006. I worked pretty hard for it. My GPA didn't show that, didn't reflect that, but I worked, you know, anyone who's got their degree, you know, it takes time, it takes work, it takes patience, it takes focus, it takes a lot of sacrifice. You know, whenever you're, you know, doing school stuff, you're always thinking like, you know, depending on like if you have a family or if you're single or whatever, it's still a, you know, it's still a sacrifice that you make for your time and effort, because you think all these different things that you could be doing, but you're not because you're doing school. You know, whether you're physically there or you're having to do it online, regardless, it's still time that it takes you to, you know, to put effort into that class. So, you know, okay, I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm talking about. So, I never really got into direct sales, network marketing, partly due to the fact that it entails the word sales in it. And sales to me is something that I've just never regarded as something that I've ever wanted to get into, period. Okay? There's a reason that I'm saying this, don't worry. And there's a reason behind why I never wanted to get into it. And the reason is very, very solid to me. And it's something that I've just really always honestly stayed away from entirely. I've encountered sales positions in previous positions that I worked at, but I didn't get into those positions with that thought in mind. So the sales kind of like just happened after I got into the position. It was kind of like an incentive package. And so it wasn't something that I was like, you know, a hardcore salesperson. Okay, so why am I saying this all? So when I was growing up, my father's first, at least his first 10 years that I was born was, he worked at a hospital in our hometown that was super, I'm going to say super prestigious. It's prestigious now. Maybe back then it wasn't so much prestigious, but it was always a very, well, in my opinion, it was always a very highly regarded hospital. And, you know, I think it was always that way. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't back when I was young, but I kind of grew up in that hospital. I was born in that hospital. You know, my dad spent, you know, the beginning part of his career in that hospital. And, I mean, he wasn't like a doctor or a surgeon or anything, but from what I remember, he you know, was pretty highly regarded. So the career path that my dad chose right after that was the path that got me started towards not ever wanting to get into sales. So my dad became a car salesman. Dun dun dun, right? He became a car salesman. And he did that career path for, I think it was something like 20 or 30 years. So it was quite a long career path that he took. I don't want to say he bounced around, but he pretty much worked at almost every American car dealership in our around the area that we lived in, and even out of the area. Like, there were times when he would drive, you know, kind of a far distance for us. I mean, he never went towards like LA or anything, but for the area that we lived in, and for what I would consider far for him, he went pretty far. Yeah. so throughout, you know, my lifetime, I watched my dad, I guess, kind of like change into a different person. And, you know, I wouldn't say that I didn't like the person he became, but I would say that there were certain aspects of what he did in that profession as opposed to his other profession where he was working at the hospital that I didn't necessarily like too much. And, you know, when someone is doing something as a career, I think it kind of, it can change who they become, who they evolve into. And, so why am I saying this? Why am I talking about this? Well, the reason that I'm talking about it, hello! The reason that I'm talking about it is because this. Okay, I'm putting creme brulee on. So let's fast forward to the last year and let's even fast forward to like the last 3 months. Sorry, I gotta make sure. I now, in the last 6 months, but more specifically in the last 3 months, I have really changed this. Not my hair, but my whole frame of mind, my whole perspective, my whole thinking pattern has changed. And, you know, I was thinking yesterday really, really hard, and I thought about it. Okay, so I'm going to do my finishing spray. Let me do just one more. I was really thinking hard about it last night, and I wanted to do the live so bad, but I was so exhausted. And, you know, I have that picture. I didn't look so great. Okay, so now I can just talk. I now have such a different thinking. My perspective is just so different now. And, you know, all those years that I spent, I want to choose my words carefully because I don't want it to come off the wrong way. I always wished that my father had not chosen the career path that he did with car sales. Now, don't get me wrong, because, you know, we as a family, we went through so many cars, like no joke. It was ridiculous. Because my dad worked at a car dealership, we were always able to like get a car. I mean, we didn't have multiple cars at a time, but we always had very easy access to, you know, getting a new car, which was leasing, by the way. Okay, we never bought a car. We were always leasing a car. And it was just crazy. Like most people, you know, it's not always easy to get a car. We had a new car like every few years. Easy breezy. You know, it was just a car payment. That was it. It was like no big deal. I would have had the choice of my first car had I, you know, done things a different way, which I didn't. So I ended up getting, yeah, my first car was a station wagon. I drove my mom's car as my first car. I drove that car like out. But then I got a Civic, and you know, that was my first I think my first car accident. I actually got I got carjacked in my first car. But anyways, that's besides the point. The point is that I really never understood or realized the little details of what my father went through in a sales position until now. And so I wanted to take the time to talk about it now, because I now realize, I now understand 30 some years later, or actually 20 some years later, the pain and the heartache, the struggles that my dad went through. Now, me and him are not the same person, obviously. I'm his daughter, and I do things much differently. I think much differently. So, you know, what he did was very different from what I'm doing now in a sense. In a sense it's not, but in a sense it is. I'm not trying to sell you a car. I'm not trying to actually sell you. It's different for me. However, you know, there is an aspect of, you know, of purchasing an item, of purchasing a product. And so with that, you know, I definitely have a different outlook now than I used to. And so I'm not going to get emotional or anything. I just see things differently. And now I understand all of the hard work and all of the sacrifice, all of the hours he spent. Oh my gosh, he worked so many hours at those car dealerships. It was ridiculous. And you know, there were months and months, and now thinking about it, there were years when he wouldn't make a sale, you know, and so there would be nothing. And when you stop and realize, like, that's really hard on a family. And that was his career. That was his career. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that because now that I'm in network marketing, you know, there's an aspect where it's not easy. And I know that many people would just choose not to do it, as I chose for many years, for the last 10 years specifically. But you know what? It's not easy, but I'm so passionate about Limelight. For me, I just love the product line. I love what the company stands for. I love that this is a family-owned and operated company. I love that they haven't just been around for a few years. If they had only been around for a few years, that wouldn't be a big deal to me. Alcone is the core, the center, the foundation. And Alcone has been catering to cosmetologists, to makeup artists since 1950, since the early 1950s. And, you know, this is a professional cosmetics, okay? okay. These are professional cosmetics. This is the stuff that, you know, the people on TV wear, right? The skincare line is just really, what is that called? It's on point. It really is. Am I saying that other skincare product lines are not? No. I actually am wearing nightly, religiously, another product line. So I'm not trying to say that, you know, Limelight by Alcone is the only. I do wear, that's actually the other brand that I wear currently. But other than that, I am very exclusive to Limelight by Alcone. I'm not going to lie there. I did go exclusive other than the other brand. So I'm just trying to say that I'm very passionate about Limelight by Alcone. There are reasons behind it. The reasons are, you know, things that I post every single day to you all. I don't do it to annoy you. I do it because I'm truly in love. I'm in love. Do you guys know what it's like to be in love with someone? I'm in love with Limelight by Alcone. I really am. You want to brush your teeth? Here you go, babies. Okay. For me to be able to shout it to the mountaintops down to everyone below, that's not a nasty frame of thinking. I'm just saying, for me to go and be able to shout to anyone and everyone, to share my knowledge of this product line to everyone, that's what I'm here for. Because it's exciting, right? When you find something that you love, it's exciting. Today, by the way, is my husband and I's 3-year wedding anniversary. We've been together now for 4 years. We've been back together now for 4 years. So it's a total of like, I think like 6 years off and on. 6 years off and on total from before. But 4 years solid now. We've definitely, sorry to change that little subject line. Anyways, so yes, to stay within Limelight, I am just very, this is my home. This is where I have implanted my seeds. Will I try other things out? Yeah, I'm sure that I will. This next year, I have made it a thing, a goal of mine to you know, basically try other products out. Not necessarily cosmetics. Not saying that I won't. I'm not saying that I won't, but I really do love Limelight by Alcone. I really do. There's no question. I love Limelight by Alcone. Will I purchase from other people's direct sales companies? Yes, I will, no doubt. But I'm very happy with Limelight by Alcone. Very happy. And so, yes, I just wanted to say that, you know, kind of like, I really appreciate all of the hard work and effort and sacrifice that that went into the career path that he chose, because it's really not easy. You know, I think it's a good, it's a really good way for someone to get thick skin. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, maybe that is a goal. It is a goal for me. You know, my friends always tell me that I'm this really strong person. I've never really felt it. I've never really felt that I was a strong person. I think they say that because of everything that I've been through, and I'm still like pushing through, you know? But I've never felt like a strong person because I have my breakdowns and I have my days, and I'm not always, you know, chipper, chipper, chipper. But yeah, I mean, I find so much strength, so much amazing community base at Limelight. Is ridiculous. Why would I go? Why would I go anywhere else? Why? This is like, yay! Like, I am just go team go. Like, I'm so happy here. I'm so happy here. Okay, I'm gonna go now because I've got things to do. I've got 2 kids to take care of. I want to thank you so much for taking time out to listen to me, to watch my video. Please, if you like it or love it, please share this video with your friends. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my page so that you can see me when I go on. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch me. Love you guys. I will see you again tomorrow. This is Shan Myung. I'm an independent beauty guide in training with Limelight by Alcone. Bye guys, love you. Oops.